Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning podcast brought to you commercial-free by another podcast. You've subscribed to ours, now subscribe to theirs. It's the Slow County Real Estate Podcast with Hal Swayze. When you're done with this, go listen to something that will actually enrich your life. California DRE 011111911.
Davis Water Conditioning, fighting forever chemicals. The FDA lists over 5,000, and they're doing what they can to keep them out of your home. Find out how one of their solutions can help you. Go to daviswaterconditioning.com.
How pathetic can some people be?
You know how nice everybody is on a plane because they're afraid they'll die? Excuse me, pardon me, no, you go ahead. Don't worry about me. As soon as we land, New York attitude. Pilot says, ladies and gentlemen, please remain in your seats till we get to the terminal. It's like, yeah, right. Everybody starts throwing their bags on the floor. We're down, baby, we're down. Stewardess flips out, comes running up the aisle. Please, it's against federal regulation. You have to sit down. We sit down. I'm sitting there thinking, really, what could they do? What are they going to do, take off again? Okay, folks, you want to play games? We're up again. Now we'll show you turbulence. Hey, remember how to use those oxygen masks? We'll be good, we'll be good.
Dumbass of the day. 93.3 KZOZ.
Flying's become so fun. I actually just saw a study that being a flight attendant is America's #1 dream job. We'll talk more about that. Yeah, I don't know why anybody would want to.
Americans.
I don't want to fly, let alone if that was my job.
What the?
Oh, my God. Well, reason 501 not to fly Southwest Airlines.
Hey, let's do Dumbass of the Day.
Southwest
You've been hitting that pilot sauce. It's Friday. It's Friday. You're hitting the pilot sauce.
Let me get a drink of coffee here. Something Southwest Airlines
you
pilot
have to balance out.
could have used before he maybe boarded his flight at the Savannah. Hilton.
Weirdly enough, I'm going to run to the defense of this guy.
Hilton Head International Airport.
And I'll let you tell the story, but I'm going to run to the defense of this guy.
All right, well, here's a witness. Hold on a second. Come on, Jeremy, you're batting 1,000 today, buddy.
My husband just kind of looked over and he goes, that's odd. There's a police officer on the plane.
And when they walked out with the pilot, my first comment to her was, he's drunk. His face was red. He looked like he'd been out or tired or just hadn't slept.
Listen, you jerk, that's my alcohol, man. I need that flight for the next 4 hours getting from point A to point B. I've been drinking my booze.
This was an early morning flight, right?
I believe it was.
I believe it was like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right now,
here's the full report.
DUI charge after being arrested right before takeoff.
This arrest comes as Southwest is facing a lawsuit from the Department of Transportation for chronically delayed flights. NBC's Tom Costello has more.
It happened on Southwest Flight 3772, bound for Chicago Midway.
My husband just kind of looked over and he goes, that's odd. There's a police officer on the plane.
Passengers Patty and Edward Dermody capturing this photo as police boarded the plane Wednesday at Savannah Hilton Head International Airport, arresting 52-year-old pilot David Alsop for allegedly driving under the influence, removing him from the plane after they say officers appeared to search the cockpit.
And when they walked out with the pilot, my first comment to her was, he's drunk. His face was red. He looked like he'd been out or tired or just hadn't slept.
A source with knowledge of the situation tells NBC News a TSA officer believed he or she had smelled alcohol and informed police per their protocol.
When you walk through security, those people...
Okay, well, wait. So he got a DUI for driving to the airport? Because I'm like, but you didn't see him driving. And you normally have to see him drive because he hadn't flown the airplane yet.
Right.
He just got there, it sounds like.
But so there was suspicion that he had driven to the airport.
Okay.
They checked that. They checked that once they smelt the alcohol. They're like, oh, you can't fly this plane and you had to get here somehow. How is your car here? And then DUI. And then, okay, then you're getting charged with DUI as well.
People are trained to recognize any potential impairment. There's a lot of checks and balances.
Southwest Airlines says it's aware of the situation, apologizing for the disruption, writing the employee has been removed from duty and customers were accommodated on other flights. Under the FAA's so-called bottle to throttle rule, Pilots are supposed to wait at least 8 hours after their last drink before flying, or if they have a blood alcohol reading greater than .04. The incident comes as the DOT is also accusing Southwest of allegedly illegally operating multiple chronically delayed flights in 2022 that resulted in 180 flight disruptions.
Two years on that lawsuit, huh?
Wait, Southwest was the airline for so long. It seems like they ran into a bunch of problems. It is the airline still. I mean, their pilots know how to party. Listen, this town... If I get stuck with them in a layover, that's one thing. All right.
Savannah, it's bottle to throttle 24 hours a day. Okay? I mean, this is a town that people walk around with drinks in. It is mini New Orleans is what it is without the dirt and the rats and the crime. It is a party in Savannah. I think he got caught up in the moment. I really do. I mean, and, we all make mistakes. Hopefully he's able to turn it around. And, hopefully this doesn't make up for a huge downward spiral. The temptation in Savannah is large. Let's just put it that way.
Can I say my new personalized license plate is going to be bottle to throttle?
Bottle to throttle. That's a bad idea. It's a really bad. Yeah. It's like the same.
that would really pick. But I love it. I want to get a bottle to throttle T-shirt or something. I got to get something bottle to throttle. Maybe it's a hat.
There's this dipstick that drives a jacked up Dodge Ram around here, and he has about 17 different brewery stickers on the back of his jacked up car, which could be pulled over for any bit of, not meeting regulation. Tinted windows, muffler,
swerving, taillight,
no mud flaps, all that stuff. And this guy's got like 17 different brewery stickers on the back window. I'm like, dude, how many times have you gotten a DUI?
Look at me. Well, congratulations to the pilot for Southwest Airlines who tried to fly his plane drunk after driving to work drunk. You're Jeff.
And tricks to get hired by the airlines at various jobs. But you knew me. When you first met me, I weighed quite a bit more than I do now. About 70 pounds more than I do now. And I quickly realized that there was no way in hell I was going to be able to navigate those aisles in the sky.
Rubbing your hips on.
Yeah, I was like, dude, no way. I mean, like, just a couple flights told me, okay, maybe the travel, what do you call it? The flight attendant is not in the cards for me. And I only wanted to do it because of the benefits, because I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was young. I wanted to travel, and this was the best way to travel. I lived near the airport. It would be very easy for me to go to work, and it's not like I had to drive 40 minutes to the airport. It would have been a 5-minute drive. I could have taken a taxi over there, and got to work. And then I started, in the class, they started telling us about the salaries and the conditions in which you had to travel, which meant, you had to, what they call deadhead when you fly somewhere. So if you wanted to go to Vegas and it was like a Friday afternoon, chances are early on you were going to have to work on a Friday afternoon anyways, because you have to take up those weekend shifts, because that's when the most of the travel is taking place. And you would have to you would have to wait for there to be an opening, like somebody to miss the flight in order to go. And then you'd have to sit in whatever seat's available. Sometimes you would have to sit in that little jump seat that they have, if they had room.
If they had the cockpit?
No, not on the cockpit. In the the little kitchen area.
Oh, where a flight attendant.
Yeah, where the flight attendant.
Yes.
And that's if they were understaffed, one flight attendant on the flight.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, oh my God, that's a lot of rules. So what? I can't get out until, if I want to go on a Friday night, I can't get out until Saturday morning, maybe Saturday afternoon, if that's the case.
But it's free, right?
It is free, but they've got to have the space available. So it was less attractive after learning all that stuff. And the pay, like once you get to Vegas, you don't have any money to spend, It's like, screw it, man.
So that is America's number one dream. And I always said, this is why America is either kind of out of touch or naive, or the people that answer kind of dumb. I mean, it comes in number 17 worldwide. And because we see what flight attendants have to deal with.
But I think American flight attendants, well, I don't know. I don't know international travel all that well. I've only done it a couple times in my life. Like flying on different carriers. We bought into one of these trips to Cancun. Like they would send, when I was in community college, I had that wanderlust, right? I wanted to travel. They had a 10 by 10 tent up, and they were selling spring break trips to Cancun. And we're like, well, this community college, is it really like a spring break? But there's a marketplace for it because they got me to buy in. And they're like, okay, yeah, you got it. Spring break trip to Cancun, go. And they're like, oh, for only $200 more, you can go for 10 days as opposed to 7 days. I'm like, all right, let's go ahead and sign it up. And I maxed out a credit card on that trip and all that good stuff. Learned all those lessons in life. And it was amazing because we flew on a Mexican charter flight. So they had rules of like, you could drink in international airspace, and you could drink as much as you wanted to. And keep in mind, this is in the mid 90s. Okay. I'm sure it has changed since then. And I forget what the carrier was. It was like Aero Mexico or something like that. I have no idea. It was a charter flight. And they loaded it up with a bunch of people. And they came around like, what do you want to drink? And everybody's drinking on the plane. It was a big party in the sky, right? And the flight attendant comes around with a bottle of Kahlua, and she's like, sorry, this is all we have left. And we're like, what, you're going to mix it with something? Like coffee? She's like, we're out of coffee. And oh,
jeez.
So we're like, okay, just pour it in a cup. We're sitting there drinking.
Not Bailey's, but Kahlua.
A cup full of Kahlua because it was the last alcohol that they had on board. That seemed fun. That seemed like a fun job. My friend and I went back and started just talking to the flight attendants in the middle of the flight. There was no seatbelts, none of that. Yeah, so what is there to do in Cancun? Tell us a little bit about it. It was pretty fun.
The top 5 jobs in the world that people say they want to do is a nurse, a pharmacist, a police officer, an attorney. It's a lot of work. And number 1 is a pilot.
A lot of work and a lot of you have to.
But if you're down to just drink a cup of Kahlua, then maybe you're probably not pilot material. Maybe,
why not? Southwest.
No, you got arrested. You got a DUI.
Well, because it was in Savannah.
Control when you can and can't drink.
I mean, if he was leaving somewhere boring like I don't know, like Wilmington, then he wouldn't even been. They're looking for that in Savannah. It's a party town.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Whoa.
Who was that?
I don't know. It was creepy though. It sounded some young singer.
Who do you think it was? A young woman? That's what I thought it was too. It was Justin Bieber.
Shut your mouth. That was a dude? Oh my God. Brian, did you know that was Justin Bieber, or did you think that was a chick? Can I not hear him?
Should be able to hear him.
Are you there, Brian? I can't hear him. Okay, something's going on here.
Yeah, I can hear him just fine. I'll have a conversation with Brian. By the way, Kid Rock and Michelle Obama share the same birthday. Happy birthday to both of them. That's why we played Justin Bieber's rendition of Happy Birthday as a female. And last night, Kid Rock was on Jesse Waters talking about it.
So is this your first inauguration?
No. I heard, Michelle Obama's not attending. I would kindly remind her that years back, when Obama was first elected, I did not vote for him. But they asked me to play the inauguration, and I played it, and I went. Had a good time. I went for out of respect to the presidency, so I would kindly remind Miss Michelle about that.
Because it's really not about the politics, it's about the office, and you got to respect it. Why isn't Michelle attending? All the other first ladies are.
I don't know. She seems a little angry. She might be, I don't know. If you can't say something nice.
Let me hear it. Pulling punches, Kid Rock, on the Michelle Obama front.
Yeah,
Michelle
I've
Obama.
got a theory.
She's not going to be there.
I think that maybe her and B-Rock are having issues.
Oh, I do too.
She doesn't want to be around him.
I mean,
and so
once
anywhere
she saw
he's
him-
going to be, she doesn't want to be.
Once she saw him having a cordial conversation with Donald Trump, I'm sure that they'd not had many conversations since Jimmy Carter's funeral. What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, she's definitely upset at him.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's like Kamala upset, but she's upset.
What's Kamala upset about now?
Well, just
Everything.
like that look she gave over. That at the funeral, the glare that she gave was pretty brutal.
Yeah. There's a really funny AI thing that's going around, and her husband Emnoff, what's his name, Bob or something? He was sitting right next to
Doug.
Doug. He was sitting right in front of Trump and Obama, and they're just chatting it up and laughing. And she's looking over at Doug, and she's like, "Oh, that loser! He's deaf. He can't hear anything they're saying." And she's trying to eavesdrop, and it's obviously all fake, but it's pretty funny. Because that's how we portray her. She's angry.
Do you think Kid Rock calls Michelle Obama today to wish her a happy birthday, and she reciprocates?
No, well,
who's older?
I don't think so.
Who's older?
I don't think they have each other's numbers.
Who's older?
I'd say Kid Rock. Looks a little bit older.
We do a game called Guessing Between the Years with songs in our library. Let's do it with Kid Rock and Michelle Obama. How many years difference do you think there is? I'll let Jeremy go first.
Let's see here. Between Michelle Obama and Kid Rock.
Don't look it up.
I'm not. I was looking to play this little music bed here. Okay, so I think Kid Rock's a little bit older. I'm going to say there's 5 years in between them.
What do you want to say, Brian?
I'll go 3.5.
3.5.
Oh, so he thinks it's even closer.
Jeremy's the winner on this one. They're 7 years apart. He's 50.
Woo!
He's 54 today. She's 61.
Oh, she is older, though. I was wrong about that.
Yeah. Last
She
year.
looks good for 61. She looks good. She must be getting some kind of some help there. Well, what are you laughing about? I know what you're laughing about. Don't go there.
She has a personal chef. I mean, come on. Or she had a personal chef.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I didn't say she's attractive. I said she looks good for her age.
Who looks better for their age? Probably Michelle Obama.
Yeah, Kid Rock is so rough. Smokes a lot of cigars. That'll screw up your face. Hangs out with John Daly on the Reg. That can't be good for your life. I saw the funniest interview with these two. They're sitting down with Tucker Carlson, and John Daly doesn't know if he wants to smoke a cigar or a cigarette, so he's smoking both at the same time.
Oh, yeah. That's how you do it. Right there.
Because he starts with a cigar.
Straight
Kid Rock
nicotine.
smokes cigars, and Tucker smokes cigars, and they're just sitting around like around a coffee table. And then all of a sudden, Daly fires up a heater, and he's got the smoke and the cigar going. At the
Will
same time.
Kid
That's
Rock.
so
It's going to be cold. We mentioned this before. It's going to be like 5 degrees, or it's going to feel like 5 degrees. It's going to be like 14 degrees, but then with the wind chill, it's going to be somewhere between 5 and 10 degrees.
I just saw that they moved the inauguration indoors.
Oh, they did? Is this breaking news? Is breaking news, Brian? Breaking news, Brian.
That's
on
what
this
I
one.
heard.
Oh, okay. Dang it. I don't like that. Because then he can't fire up a
but
heater.
it's probably safer. It's probably safer, though.
Oh, it absolutely is safer. And I'm glad that they're doing it. Although the optics are so much better when it's outdoors.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Rhonda, the do-gooder ding-dong, writes in. She goes, Trump didn't even show up to the inauguration in 2020. Yeah, they stole it from him, so he didn't want to go. I don't blame him. You can't threaten.
Rhonda,
say that. Go ahead.
What's that, Brian?
I was going to thank Rhonda for the segue. I appreciate her bringing that up because that leads to my point of sometimes these people say things like, when they go low, we go high. Mm-hmm. But most people have enough common sense to go, watch what they do and not what they say.
Oh. Mm.
Yeah.
So her actions...
If Trump was a dirtbag for skipping out on the inauguration for Biden, wouldn't she go high when he went low and actually show up instead?
The gloves are off.
I think she has.
They're playing a new game now. The new game now.
I do have a fair amount of respect for her because I don't think she plays by the Politico rules. She kind of
No. You like that.
She goes with her heart more often than not. Now, granted, she played by the political rules when she was out there stumping for Kamala big time. And I don't think she believed a word that came out of her mouth, but that's because George Clooney
she also knew Kamala wasn't going to be in charge.
Barack sat her down and said, "You don't want to end up like the personal chef."
That's true. Yeah, good point. Good point. Why aren't they going high? Because I think, and I honestly believe that there's a different strategy now. So it's as you've seen with these hearings, it's all about painting anybody that is with Trump as a misogynist pig. So it's dirty. It's dirty.
It's super interesting. There's a saying, I forget who says it, some old famous lord, but when you're in charge, I demand free speech because that's of your principles. But when I'm in charge, I take away that because that's of my principles. And it applies to both sides depending on what issue you want to talk about. But yeah, it's very political cat and mouse kind of game.
This is in response to Michelle Obama looking better than Kid Rock does, even despite the fact that she's older. Community note moderator Daniel writes in. He says men do tend to age more gracefully. So there you go. There you have it.
Oh my God.